Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry, the YouTube ended the stream. Not sure if it was my mistake with trying to mm, stop sharing. Uh, can everybody see me? Hello? Let's see. We have 7 people so far. Yeah, well, so I'm sorry I was not able to see all of the questions. I mean, finish all of the questions. So if you guys can post the questions I haven't yet answered here, so we can continue from where it was. I think I may have ended the stream by mistake. I was trying to stop the screen sharing, and I may have clicked on the wrong button. Again, this is the first time I'm doing live video, and obviously I'm prone to making mistakes. So if you can let if you can let everybody else in the other chat that we will continue on this stream, that will be fantastic. I see that there are less people than there were in the other one. And then we can continue with more questions. So Stefan is suggesting marked connections should stay marked to easily follow them. I agree. I'm looking at a way to do that. I myself am looking to find a good way to do this feature while again making sure that it is easy. Also, I want this feature for yet another reason. Again, as I mentioned, I want Visuino to be touchscreen friendly, and deleting connection as example without such a feature is not practical on touchscreen. So yes, that's something I'm looking at how to properly implement. Yeah, we seem to be getting more and more people. MIDI implementation. Okay, well, that's a good one. I'll have to see how best to do MIDI. So, Stefan, maybe if you connect me, we can start discussing again with Visuino. It is in general easy if you just go ahead and implement a component with the first thing that pops in your mind. When I design components, however, I take into account that they have to be very easy for people to use. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make the component actually easy to understand and easy to use rather than just throw all the features and functionality in there and make it very confusing. So before I do MIDI, I have to figure out how to make that MIDI to be actually user friendly and not to confuse people. So uh, we'll have to figure it out. Uh, so also, again, I mean, we have to find ways to do the MIDI sequences, and considering that I actually don't necessarily come from musical background, uh, for me, figuring out how to deal with patches and stuff like that is a bit confusing. And maybe, I mean, yeah, if I can get some guidance and some easier understanding of how those should be handled, yeah, then I can implement MIDI functionality. MIDI is something which I always wanted to do. I never had a chance to deal with it. Thank you, Stefan. So, okay, we're getting more and more people on this stream as well. Fantastic. And again, my apologies. I believe that the other stream ended by my mistake. I don't want to blame for my mistake somebody else. I believe that I clicked on the wrong button when I was trying to change the screen. And YouTube doesn't allow me to reconnect the stream once it has been ended. So, my fault. Blame it on the operator error. Mm, yes, Brian, you're back. We all seem to be getting back. So, any other questions? Again, I was not able to answer the questions in the previous stream because I ended it by mistake. My fault. Apologies, please. So please, guys, pose the questions. If not, I will revert to the pre-recorded questions which Ron has prepared. But of course, I prefer if you guys have questions. Color differentiation for repeated periods to get. You mean periods in terms of the sequence or component? I'm not sure. Do you mean sequence component? Stefan, yeah, if you can clarify the question. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, the repeat component, you mean when the sequence, I'm not sure. Repeat and repeat. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay, I understand. I understand. Yeah, I will see what I can do about that. I agree with you that nesting gets confusing visually, so I have to find ways to do it better. And yes, colorization is one of the approaches. I'll have to find a way to do it. You're right. It's confusing. Mm, MQTT. So MQTT is supported in Visuino. What kind of issue is there? Can you show the new search functionality in TreeView? Well, the TreeView. Let's switch to TreeView. And again, I mean, this is not necessarily new functionality, but yeah, I mean, you can search if that's what you mean. So let's say if you want DHT component, yeah, you can search for the DHT components in the tree view and everything else if that's what you mean, Ron. But this functionality was there for quite a while, so I'm not sure what you mean by new. Oh, the new, okay, I understand. The tree view, yeah. So this is the new tree view in the toolbar, which you can switch through here. Okay, and then of course we have search, though again, new, it's been a while. But yeah, you can search for different components or channels. So let's say the I2C channel or the pins on the I2C channel. So it will search everything, including elements and everything else. So yeah, it's better in more complex projects. You have also search in code. So as you can see, you can search everywhere where this word is. The same functionality is in custom code. So if we have custom code, just for the fun of it, I will actually just copy some code from here. It doesn't matter. Put it somewhere. but you can search here as well. This example everywhere, or everywhere where you have constant, or everywhere where there is no implementation, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is the new searches. Yeah, I want to cancel the changes. Yes. So the point is that we have this, let's say, button. Yeah, so you can search all kinds of stuff all over the place. So that's that. And of course, I already showed the new hint images, which are quite user friendly. Finn is asking, I'm wondering about the elements window, always pop up and converting. The pop-up location is actually decided by Windows, but I can change it to pop up in the middle of the screen instead. Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Finn. Yeah, I can consider that. Uh, the reason there is advantage in using the Windows pop-up is when you pop up different components and you want multiple windows open. The fact that they pop up at different locations actually is kind of helpful because they don't overlap over each other. So again, there is advantage and disadvantage of doing it this way. Uh, I will consider doing it in the middle of the screen instead of allowing Windows to select the location. Simulate walkway. Yeah, Miguel, I know. Walkway simulation inside Visuino is better integration with walkway is considered. But yeah, you can. Yeah, Miguel, I know that you have done walkway simulation, and yeah, I think you posted tutorials on that, so that's fantastic. Uh, Good questions. Ron is actually asking if you can get the sum of all of the periods in the sequence. That's actually a good suggestion. I can try to add something to indicate the sum of all periods in the sequence. That's a nice suggestion. That's a nice suggestion. Uh, any other questions or suggestions or anything? Okay, so then if not, until there are any new questions, and I'm going to organize the screen so I can look at them. I'm going to continue with the pre-listed, yeah, faster graphics for big projects. Well, as you have noticed, the latest version of Visuino is much faster already, but no, I'm not happy with the speed. I'm working to improve the speed for big projects. No, you do not need to uninstall old version of Visuino. When you install new version of Visuino, it automatically upgrades the old one, so you don't have to bother with uninstalling. Uninstalling is purely optional. So let's see what Ron has listed as a question. How Visuino generates optimized code for the different controllers? I already kind of answered that question. So using bit fields, as example, here we don't even use a single bit field, but using bit fields, which I showed earlier, does that using constants automatically through templates everywhere is another form of optimization. There are a lot. I mean, while I'm actually a big fan of virtual functions, virtual functions come with their expense. And whenever, while they're very useful for a lot of stuff, they, for embedded programming, there are other ways to achieve the same very often as virtual functions with less expense. Uh, and typical example, since we're talking sequence, let's see. I'm pretty sure the sequence will show how let's stop the searching so we don't have. So let's put a few different periods and stuff. And let's take a look at how I avoid doing the sequence. And you can see that it is done through these code chains. These code chains generate much more efficient code. In this particular case, again, don't get me wrong, I am a fan of virtual functions, but whenever they're applicable. And in this case, they're not necessarily, they're not the most efficient choice. So I use code chains to optimize the code. I use bit fields, I use constants, and many other tricks that I cannot even recall right at the moment. So there is an extremely high level of code optimization. I hope I answered this question as quickly as possible. Formatted text for web, there is Kevin's question in the chat. And yeah, Ron, I'm going to answer the ESP32CAM question after that. So formatted text for web page, code inputs. So I'm not sure I understand the question, but formatted text, I use it for web page generation, for HTTP generation. So yes, you can do anything that can be done with HTML code in the formatted text, and yeah, you can fill fields and stuff like that. So I hope I answered the question. So can you talk? Ron is asking if I can talk about ESP32CAM. Okay, let's talk about ESP32CAM and how easy it is actually to create a and I want this one, not the Lego version. So, well, this is not the best board to show it, but again, you have the camera and you can put a packet component, though it's going to overwhelm the communication. And in the packet component, you can put image. And then you can connect the camera to this image and the output to, let's say, serial port. And now if you go to serial communication, you can see the instrumentation that you have image. And of course, you have to clock it because otherwise it's going to overload the communication very fast. But you should be able to start receiving images. Even more interesting, if I add display, I'm not sure if I added it for all types of displays, but we'll see. So again, I have not, yeah, this display is good. I'm working, by the way, to add hint images for many of the displays, but it's an ongoing, yeah, like these guys as example, but it's ongoing work. So eventually all the displays will have nice hint image, but for now it's just few of them. Again, I have to edit and generate all of the images and stuff, and that takes time. So I'm adding the display, data command is needed. And again, for this, you may need a board with decent amount of memory and computing power. But if I go to the display, I can select image. And I can specify where the image should be located on the display and stuff. But what I can do is I can connect the camera to this input of the image. And now what will happen is I can see the video from my camera on my display. So I hope that shows how I can do simple things for now. Again, I plan much more stuff in terms of video processing and maybe even some computer vision eventually. But for now, you can at least display the video. You can send it over communication. You can even send it over TCP with the packet component or structure component and so on and so forth. So I hope that this covers the ESP32 cam. Miguel, is it possible replace data type into component, for example, and sign to sign? Yeah, of course. So since we have a packet component, yeah, this is one of the relatively new features. And again, there's so many new features in Visuino that it's, I mean, I myself forget everything I have had. So if you add integer component here and you want to change it with different components, example with a sign or maybe even analog. So let's say even analog. So what you can do is just select the component you want to replace here, component you want to replace it with here, click on this one, and it will replace it, and it will try to keep, oops, sorry about that. Yeah, this is still work in progress at the moment in my beta. Didn't work as planned. Sorry about that. So this works in the official version. Unfortunately, I have broken something here. Sorry about that, guys. The start. Mistakes do happen. The point is that this is the button that allows you to replace it. The same applies for replacing components. Well, Visuino is restarting here. Let's see what other. Well, Kevin is having a very good question. I'm not the best web developer, but there are forms and there are even more advanced methods of sending information. Yeah, you have to use forms or generate a different URL on clicking on something, and that should, or you can embed JavaScript that sends URL requests, and then you have to parse those URLs with parse text on the Visuino side. I am working on HTTP server component, but that's in very early stages, and I'm so overloaded with other stuff. It's been on back burner for quite a while. I mean, I hope somebody can donate some money or something to sponsor it, because yeah, I'm definitely not in the best possible financial situation. I have to work on other projects to help fund Visuino. But hopefully HTTP functionality will be easier in the near future. Let's start sharing the Visuino again. Where is my Visuino? Doesn't show yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a bit laggy. Okay. So I'm sharing it again. So let's see other. Yeah, Swellington is actually answering the question. Thank you, Swellington. So let's see other questions from Ron. We answered. Ron is answering a very nasty question. What improvements and new features of Visuino have been added over the years? Oh boy, I mean, it's a long list. Visuino, when it started, was very simple. So let me bring my stream here. That was very simple and was generating very crappy code. My initial focus was to make it possible to just easily create projects and not very necessarily very well optimized. And that changed. I mean, I switched to more and more focusing on generating highly optimized code. Initially, I was supporting only Arduino boards, then expanded in all kinds of boards. Initially, the only option was with this button to generate Arduino code, open the Arduino IDE, compile and upload from there. Now I added the functionality to compile and upload from here. Later, I added the functionality to apply it, to upload over the air, OTE functionality. Uh, then I added for icons for the different properties and stuff like that in the properties editor to make the life easier. I added things like the sequence component, added different types of communication protocols, TCP, Bluetooth, LoRa, and so forth, and that's ongoing battle. I have added many different types of displays with different types of graphics, new pixels, dot star pixels, added search functionality. I already demonstrated the more advanced do functionality, the tree view option in the toolbar, the new hint windows, the sub diagrams in the professional version, the live code view, eventually thanks to Swellington, by the way, the import and export of sub diagrams. And boy, are there, I mean, Canvas, I am that's gonna come. I'm looking more and more of Zigbee support. Now Zigbee was kind of not very popular for a while. Now it's becoming popular again. So that means I'll be looking more and more into it. Uh, I added the functionality for packet. Yeah, we don't have packet at the moment, but the structured view for the packet, the platforms and libraries management, and one God knows how many other features that I cannot even recall right off top of my head. Again, it's a product that's growing by the day, literally, and there are new and new boards and functionalities that I'm adding every day. So I cannot answer that question that easily. So there is question by Zalan in the chat, and Stefan says that he has to go. But yeah, it was fantastic, Stefan, and please contact me about the MIDI. We may be able to kind of work together and figure out how it's going to happen. But yeah, nice to see you here. Hope we'll talk soon. So Zalan is asking, is there a component that will add analog input to the project in the future? Features. I'll have to look at the HC. Yeah, Zalan, please contact me directly. I can look at this particular multiplexer and I'll see what I can do about it. I'm open to adding new components. I just have to prioritize. And again, so many things that need to be done. Finn says, is asking the sequence component, is it possible to use? I think I added already this functionality to execute next step, but I'll have to look. So contact me directly, Finn, and I'll look into more details. I added recently, I added options to reset and do other things with the sequence component. And yeah, I'm enhancing the sequence component. So let's go back to questions from Ron. In what way? Yeah, he's asking about the internal compiler, the built-in compiler. Well, it's definitely much faster to compile now and much easier. And also when you have errors, at least for me, it helps me a lot with my development, because when I have errors, I can just double click and go directly into the code that caused the error, and then I can fix. So it was a huge change. The built-in compiler compared to the external Arduino IDE was a huge and very beneficial change, considering how slow the Arduino IDE compiles projects. I mean, it was complete misery. Uh, let's see if there are new questions. Mm. Ron is asking, what's the next cool board that is in the to-do list? Well, that would be the deck, the deck, the Lily Go TT Go deck component. I mean board. It's not right next to me. Is one of them. The other is this ESP32 display right here. I'm working on both of them. Unfortunately, I have been quite preoccupied. So those are probably the coolest two that I'll be working. The other one, the other interesting addition that I'm planning is I am planning more 80 tiny controllers. There are a lot of them. I already added quite a lot. Dozens of them, but there are dozens more that I can add. So they're planned, so we'll have more cores that are supported. Other than that, I cannot think of anything specifically cool other than yet another robot that is waiting for me to actually assemble it. I hope to record assembly video. That has camera. It's a ESP32 cam actually robot. So that would be an interesting one that will be added. Other than that, I cannot promise anything yet because again, I'm very early. I just made the previous release. So I don't think that 2.8-inch resistive touch is supported. I'll have to look at a specific board, but I don't think this one is supported at the moment. I'll have to look. I'm working on this one next. It's kind of a bit nasty board because it uses a relatively non-standard controller for the display. So I'm still trying to figure out how to work with the controller. Otherwise, the board would have been added by now. Let's see other questions from Ron in the chat. What makes the Visuino component Windows special compared to other IDs? I already answered that. This component window basically displays the full board with all the functionality, which makes it enormously easy to figure out what you can do with the board. So that was covered. How does the tree view assist in navigation complex project hierarchies? Yeah, we already covered the tree view navigation of the component toolbar. So what are you currently working, and how those projects push boundaries of programming? Well, I already answered what I'm working. You guys just saw me, at least on the Visuino side. I'm working on the new channels implementation. But aside from that, there are other developments. I'm working on new release for all of my libraries. There is it's not a secret anymore. But there will be a new version of RAD Studio, and I am preparing the support for it. I'm also expanding the .NET support for the libraries, including things that will allow better integration with Visuino. So upgrades that are happening, and I'm working on other things that are based on OpenWire Studio, including experimenting with AI version of the OpenWire Studio. We'll see how that's gonna go. So I'm working in all kinds of areas, and again, I mentioned that I'm working to add LVGL functionality in Visuino, which is going to be very important. I'm working on the HTTP server component, which once when I succeed to finish, it's going to be important. I'm working on the improved stepper motor component, and so on and so forth. And I will be looking more at the ZigBee. So hope that answers what I'm working on. There are no new questions, and yeah, just some compliments, which I appreciate. But let's see other questions from Ron. Which new features are being considered? Answer which new features are being considered for now. How do you approach the process of finding and fixing bugs within Visuino? I can answer this question, but again, I do enormous amount of in-house testing, automated testing for most parts, and some manual. I work with beta testers, and I highly appreciate all of their help. Ron is enormous help in uh, 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 and Miguel Wissentiner, I hope I pronounced the name properly, is a great help. I mean, there's so many great people. I cannot even list all of them. It's a phenomenal community, and the reason Visuino is as good as it is largely thanks to their help. So you all have to thank them too. What common issues do users encounter, such as libraries? Well, here's the deal with Visuino, because I write all of the libraries myself. There are rarely issues, but the one area where people have to be aware is to keep up to date their platform support, because again, platforms change. I keep supporting the different the platforms and stuff, so you can get outdated on platforms. Libraries are rarely use libraries. Those few components use libraries. So yeah, sometimes you have to check your libraries up to date. I think this team, yeah, there are many more questions that Ron has prepared, but I think this team has gotten quite long already. So we can probably start wrapping it up. So what I would suggest is, please, if you have any last minute questions, post them. From now on, I'll answer just last minute questions. And then after those questions are answered, I will wrap it up, and hopefully we'll continue with another one if you guys want. So Ron is actually asking any plans for AI. Well, I don't want to spill the beans, but I am looking at a variety of options of AI integration. So first of all, you already know that at least one AI shield is already supported in Visuino. The Neuro Shield is supported in Visuino. I happen to have it here next to me. So that's one AI functionality that already is there. But that being said, I'm looking at integrating things like ChatGPT to allow assistance with building the projects and giving you suggestions of what components you need to add to achieve the functionality you want. I have not looked at options for data analysis yet. That's an interesting idea, but I'm much more open for such type of functionalities like data analysis to actually partner with somebody who is going to write a plugin that we can have inside Visuino and maybe sell it as separated product of their own. Because again, my strength is not necessarily in the area of data analysis. My strength is in working with microcontrollers and programming them. And yeah, I have AI experience and expertise, but data analysis is not necessarily my strong point. So it is better to be left to the professionals rather than me trying to figure out how best to do it. So if you have ideas for data analysis functionality that is great to be integrated with Visuino and the communication to the controllers, I mean, contact me and yeah, we can work. So I will allow you to integrate it as a plugin. Visuino is expandable architecture. And then yeah, you can even give it for free or sell more advanced versions or anything like that, and people can buy it if they need this functionality. So Brian is saying that it was nice. Miguel is going to share a big project. Well, if there are no other questions, I mean, we can maybe wrap it up. Last minute questions, guys. My voice is starting to give up. I'm not necessarily the best speaker in the world, so my throat is drying off. And I'm sorry, I'm not experienced with this. Oh, and even more so, somebody here is getting restless and needs some attention. So, last chance. Well, thank you guys. I mean, it was fantastic meeting all of you. I'm sorry I ended the previous stream prematurely. Things happen. But, well, I mean, again, I'm brand new on this. This is the very first stream I'm doing. So mistakes were bound to happen. No more? Okay, if there are no more questions, I really appreciate you guys joining me. Have a great evening, day, or wherever you are. Probably many of you are already late evening or even night time. So have a good rest. Well, there will be another broadcast. Well, if you post comments below the broadcast saying how good the broadcast is and that you want another broadcast, or post comments on my other videos asking for broadcasts, there will be another broadcast. So again, I listen to people. Remember, when I created this Visuino, I listened. If some of you were back there with me, I listened to you. You were the guys that suggested what the name of the product should be. We worked together on what the logo should be. We worked together even on what the pricing should be back in the days. So I try my best to listen to people, discuss it with them, and make decisions based on what you guys are going to tell me you want. So I come up with my ideas, but I also listen a lot to people and take their feedback and try my best to do it. So if you want more videos, please comment, tell me so, and it will happen. So until then, fantastic to see everybody, and see you next time. And you guys have great time. Bye.